Premier and all those VIPs that we've got here with us. We're not surprised that you came, because it's a special event in the racing world, and I mean world, because this great trophy, the World Series trophy, we are the only race in the Southern Hemisphere that plays part of it. And we're very proud of that fact that we were invited to join it all those years ago, and even prouder today as an Australian that the great Godolphin stable came, competed well, but failed against our Australian horses. I'm sure they'll be back and come again. It's a great thrill for me to see Northerly win. As I said earlier at lunch, I retire soon, and I've got a great recollection of my time as chairman, and thank God I only have to remember 3 names: Might and Power, Sunline, and now Northerly. It'll be easy. I'm going to ask the Managing Director of CUB to say a few words, and I congratulate Fred Kersley, now a great friend of mine, and his wife Judy. Wonderful people, and it's great to see wonderful people win great races like this. Jim King, the Managing Director of CUB.
Thanks very much, Jeff. Premier Steve Bracks, Mrs Bracks, Minister for Racing, the Honourable Rob Hulls and Mrs Hulls, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what a day. It's a great pleasure, a great honour and a great thrill for me to be here today on behalf of Carlton Draft to witness what I think is one of the most emotional and one of the most historic days in Australian racing history. Thank you, Jeff Tawney, for your kind words about Carlton United Breweries. It is indeed true that we've had a very successful partnership with the Moonee Valley Race Club. And it's particularly pleasing for us that on this, your signature day, and a fantastic day, our signature brand, Carlton Draft, has the naming rights for this great race. Some unbelievable horses, a fantastic atmosphere, and a great beer, an unbeatable combination. May I take the opportunity to congratulate you, the Chief Executive, Paul Brettel, and all those involved in the staging of not only today's race, but the whole Carlton Draft Cox Plate Carnival. The atmosphere and the racing just keep getting better and better. To the general public, punters one and all, thanks for your support of Moonee Valley. Thanks very much for your support of Carlton Draft. I can't leave without saying to Trevor McKee and Sunline, today wasn't your day. However, your place in history is assured. A true champion with 13 Group 1 races, 2 Cox Plates, 3 Australian Horses of the Year, the highest stakes winner ever, the list goes on and on. Thank you for bringing so much joy, hope and pleasure to the Australian racing public. And finally, and most importantly, it's now time to acclaim another champion in Northerly. The winner of Australia's greatest race, a wonder horse from Western Australia, winner of last week's Caulfield Cup and now the Cox Plate Double, an obvious champion. To the owners, Judith Kersley, Mr and Mrs Duncan, Mr Sayers, Bartlett, Patrizi and Gorillasic, I say a warm congratulations, and particularly to Fred Kersley for brilliantly preparing the horse. And finally to Patrick Payne, beautifully ridden, his first ride on the horse and now a Cox Plate. Now on behalf of Carlton United Breweries, it gives me great pleasure to ask the Premier to present the winning trophies. Steve.
Thank you very much to Carlton, to the Chairman, Governor, Committee, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic race, what a champion field, and what a champion that has won the Cox Plate in 2002, Northerly. This will go down as one of the best races ever and one of the best fields ever. Could I congratulate the owners, Fred and Judy Kersley, on the 2002 Carlton Draft Cox Plate. It gives me great pleasure to present them with the champion plate. Congratulations.
Thank you, Stephen. We might call on Judith Kersley on behalf of the Winning Connections just to say a few words and how she feels right at this moment.
Mr. Brax, Chairman of Moonee Valley, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am superstitious, so I haven't got a speech prepared because I was frightened to even think about it. So just please bear with me. I'd like to thank Moonee Valley and Mr. Tawney and his lovely wife Janet and all their staff for the hospitality they have shown us while we have been here. They're marvellous. Everybody in Victoria has treated us very, very well. I've lost it. Oh, this is just unbelievable. Northerly, yeah, hopefully we'll be back next year, says Rupert. With a horse like Northerly, we stand here and take the accolades, but it's the horse that does the job. He is just so wonderful. I said last week, we are so, so lucky of all the horses in the world, all the horses that we've had, to finish up with one like Northerly. It's just so much pride for all of us, and I think we're all very humble too, because we do appreciate what we have. I don't think I can say much more because I've lost it. I'd like to thank Patrick for his ride, Fred, training. Some people say it's very easy to train a good horse, but you do have to have a lot of patience and you do have to do it right just the same. I'll let Fred say what I should say. Thank you.
Judith Kersley is the good woman behind the good man who on this occasion is the trainer of Northerly. Please put your hands together for Fred Kersley. Fred, this is a real pleasure, mate. We were here this time last year. There were a few doubters out there during the week after the Caulfield Cup, but I think you were quietly confident. I'll let you take it away, mate.
Yeah, thanks very much. To all the racing people in Victoria, I want to say thank you very much. Northerly, of course, you don't need me to tell you, he's a great horse, and with his win today, he's equal to Sunline in Cox Plate status in any case. We're so grateful for the luck we've had to have the opportunity to train Northerly for a great bunch of people. So pleased that Northerly found me some years ago, and he's taken me a long, long way since then. But you know, I suppose there's a line there somewhere that if the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west, undoubtedly it's going to encounter a Northerly somewhere along the line. Thank you.
Well said, Fred. And now I'd invite the Premier again, Mr. Steve Brack, to present the copy of the Cox Plate to the winning jockey, who on this occasion was Patrick Payne. Come through, Patrick. Well done, Patrick. Wearing the Northerly colours for the first time, I think, and well, this is a special moment for him. I'm sure the Payne family will be very, very proud.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd also like to thank Carlton Draft for sponsoring this race today, Moonee Valley Racecourse for having the track in such great order, the Kersley camp for preparing this horse so well. A special thanks to Fred and Judith Kersley for giving the opportunity to ride him today. They went against the grain and put a ride on. It was having his first ride, and he showed a lot of courage in doing that. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
What a day for Pat Payne and for the connections of Northerly, who, by the way, is shortened from 15-1 to 9-1 for the Melbourne Cup following his win in the Carlton Draft Cox Plate. So let's have a look at the field now for race number 8, the Trails Carlton Draft Tessio Stakes.
Number 1 is out. 2 Tickle My Stephen King. 3 Oregon Seal Darren Gauci. 4 Damasceno Danny Nikolic. 5 Gentle Genius Greg Child. 6 Keys Natural Willer. 7 Self-Interest Damien Oliver. 8 Latte Mark Zara. 9 Paris Heartbeat Brett Preble. 10 Paladama Scott Seamer. 11 Lady K Glenn Boss. 12 Special Grange Chris Muntz. 13 Chicky Craig Newitt. 14 Rosa Murada Corey Brown, and 15 Venus Was Her Name Kieran McAvoy.
Greg Radley's in the betting ring this morning. It was Gentle Genius over Tickle My.
It's hard to find a favourite here. There's about 6 or 7 horses, all between $7 and $11. Tickle My's at about 9, 11 for Damasceno, $7 for Gentle Genius and also Self-Interest. Then we go down to Lady K at $9, $8 for Special Grange, and $11 for Venus Was Her Name. So it's very, very hard. I don't know what the punters are going to do here.
So the net is wide in the betting ring. Let's see what they're saying on the tote.
2 Tickle My $6, 3 Oregon Seal $21.50, 4 Damasceno $12.50, 5 Gentle Genius $5.30, 6 Keys $25, 7 Self-Interest $6.40, 8 Latte $16.10, 9 Paris Heartbeat $26.40, 10 Paladama $33.40, 11 Lady K $11.90, 12 Special Grange $7.80, 13 Chicky $19, 14 Rosa Murada $27.80, 15 Venus Was Her Name $15.40.
Gentle Genius the favourite, but over $5. Graham Samperi Max has gone for Self-Interest.
Yes, I thought that Self-Interest could win too. Self-Interest, a good run first up after a spell, usually acts second up, and of course Self-Interest has Damien Oliver. For those reasons, I think Self-Interest will be very hard to beat.
$6.40 at the moment, Self-Interest, with Gentle Genius the favourite at $5.30. Just your thoughts about the Cox Plate?
Oh, the thoughts about the Cox Plate, just figuring one horse, Northerly, what a great horse he is. I thought Defier was gallant in defeat. He ran up to what he can do. A very game, a very gallant horse, but Northerly's in a class of his own. He showed that. He's won the best Cox Plate we've seen, and by gee, if he's not a champion, he's the closest thing to it.
Max, you're tempted to go from 3 champions to 4 in one day. I didn't think I'd ever see the day, but...
well, how often do you get a Cox Plate like this one? And how often do you get a decisive win like that?
We've never had one like it, and it's never been a day for Paddy Payne like this today. All things must pass, and for Sunline, her final day at the races, being led out by Claire Bird. Heads high here. She's done her job. What a mare. Her 4th Cox Plate today, 2 wins a second, and today 4th. And she's on her way home for a well-deserved rest. What a lot of memories, all great ones that she leaves us, as another group of mares are getting themselves ready for the Tessio Stakes. By the way, Chris Muntz indisposed after the ride on Defier, where the horse ran second in the Cox Plate. Dan Beasley goes on to Special Grange in this race, horse number 12. I reckon Seal's got a good record in this race, 3rd last year and won the year before.
Yes, it's incredible just how many horses appear at this meeting every year and continue to show form.
Gentle Genius, the favourite. She's been flying. She ran second to Sunline at cricket figure odds in the Coolmore in the autumn, didn't she?
Yes, owner John Singleton is fond of shouting when she wins. It'll be a sizable shout today. Damasceno has been well tried, $11 into $8.50. She ran very well behind Palladium Star at Caulfield. We will be talking to Paddy Payne and also Fred Kersley after this race. One of the questions I'm going to ask Fred is the Melbourne Cup. The horse is shortened from 15 to 1 to 9 to 1 in the betting ring today for the Melbourne Cup. Chance to be compared with Kingston Town. Kingston Town could just fail to do it with 59. What about the Sydney filly there, the Ron Quinton Lady Key? I thought she's been disappointing, but the tip is that she's going to improve today. Could Keys jump out of the ground here? I mean, she won a Wakeful last year. She's only had the 2 starts this time in. Striving to reach top form, would have to improve. There's Special Grange. So Danny Beasley now on Special Grange. Chris Muntz indisposed after the ride on Defier in the Carlton Draft Cox Plate. Venus Was Her Name's a bit of a tip.
A terrific win at Caulfield, ex-New Zealand filly in the Moroni stable, 8th behind Hosanna. There's Paris Heartbeat. She's been racing against the males. She had a good spring last year, but hasn't won at the Valley and hasn't won over 1,600 metres in 4 attempts.
Yeah, some of her runs have been pretty handy in much tougher races. She'll appreciate the grade today. An outside chance.
So Damasceno continues to shorten up. Special Grange solid, but the favourite Gentle Genius at 5.20, 6.30 for Self-Interest, and that's the selection from Max and also Graham Sampiri. Gentle Genius second in the Tristark and second in the Jayco this time in, and 7th in the Cameron. So she has such solid form. So 2 or 3 to come up. Lady Key joins them. Up comes Latte, has a touch of class. So they're almost set for the Tessio. $100,000, Group 3 for the mares. We can see Venus was her name. Let's join Brian Martin, our caller, for the Carlton Draft Tessio Stakes.
2 to come in. Venus was a name going up. Venus was a name coming into line, and we're just waiting on Paladama to go up for the Tessio. Elegant Seal on the inside of Cheeky. Machino well backed. Gentle Genius ready. Paladama to complete the line outside. Tickle My, and they'll be set. Now they're ready. Stand at the 1,600. Out of calling out there from Rosa Murata. Settle again, they're off and running. Oregon Seal has bounced away quite well with Gentle Genius, Damasceno, Lady K and Latte behind those from Chicky. Rosa Murata and Paris Heartbeat further out from Self-Interest. Venus was a name. Paladama is very deep. Special Grange is drifting back now with Tickle My and Keys. Down on the first turn, and Latte going quickly in the middle, took it up. Latte led around that turn from Rosa Murata, a length and a half for the back. Paris Heartbeat. Damasceno inside it now, 3rd, and Paladama's deep. A length and a half, Oregon Seal. Further back, Lady K. Gentle Genius, the middle. 2 further back, Self-Interest from Chicky, a length and a half. Venus was a name. Then came Tickle My out 3 deep. Special Grange on the fence, and 2 to Keys. Down the back, Latte led. Paladama's worked up on the outside 2nd. 2 to Rosa Murata 3rd. A length for the back, Damasceno 4th. 3/4 Paris Heartbeat. It's running 5th. A couple of lengths, Lady K. She's 3 deep around Gentle Genius. The fence is Oregon Seal. 2 to Self-Interest. Back in the middle is Chicky. A length in on the inside, Special Grange. Then Tickle My. Venus was a name, and Keys last of all at the 650, and Latte a neck in front of Paladama on the outside. 2 lengths further back, then Damasceno on the inside of Rosa Murata. Then Paris Heartbeat the middle. Self-Interest deep around Gentle Genius, Lady K, Tickle My, Oregon Seal, Chicky, Venus was a name. Keys and Special Grange last of all. Latte the leader at the 350 metre mark from Rosa Murata, and Paris Heartbeat out wide. Paladama behind those, then Damasceno trying to get out. Further out is Gentle Genius when they turn for home. Paris Heartbeat took the lead from Rosa Murata. Gentle Genius coming down the outside, running home well. Paris Heartbeat in front. Gentle Genius ranging up on the outside. Gentle Genius gets to Paris Heartbeat, and Gentle Genius a half length. Paris Heartbeat 2 away, 3rd in the races, Rosa Murata. Paladama stayed on for 4th, I'd say, just in front of Tickle My. Then a gap in the race to Lady K, Self-Interest. Venus was a name, Keys. Latte for the back, Chicky from Damasceno. Oregon Seal well back, and Special Grange didn't come into the races, back to the rear.
Well, she's run up to a good form, Gentle Genius. You're 2nd in the Tristar, 2nd in the Jayco behind Hosanna. And today she's come with a sweeping run to win the Tessio. John Singleton is a part owner. Don't think he'll shout the bar today. It'll be a big shout, that is for sure. Gee, it was a run. She's been flying, Gentle Genius. She really first made a name for herself when she ran 2nd to Sunline in the Coolmore at big odds in the autumn. Paris Heartbeat looked all over a winner, but Gentle Genius with a flashing run. Rosa Murata getting 3rd. She'd won the Bell of the Turf at Gosford. But this mare has become really solid. There's a $400,000 race on for mares at Flemington next week, over 1,600. You can bet your bottom dollar Gentle Genius is going to be in that. Paris Heartbeat with Brett Preble. He held on to the Grosby Gold Cup today despite the protest, looked home. But Greg Childs coming home with Gentle Genius. And this mare has certainly gone up a notch or 2. She started her campaign with a 2.5 length unplaced 7th in the Cameron behind Accelerator, but it was a pretty good run. And from then on in, she has thrived here in Melbourne. And this 5-year-old mare now, I'm sure will run in the Nestle next week on Derby Day, which is really the championship mares race of the spring, worth $400,000. So 1 and 2 clearly in front. And they're the connections. They're excited. Let's go down and join Greg Childs with John Lenz.
Yes, Greg, a little bit of consolation now with Gentle Genius, but she won well today, and she should go on now. She's adapted this way, going down here, Greg.
Yeah, Tony's been placing her well. It's just been hard to get a bit of luck. We've had a bit of bad luck, but after a run last week, today she was always ready for a big race and had a beautiful trip in transit and was just too good.
Terrific, Greg. Now, the First Lady of the Turf, she's finished with you. The emotions were high today, weren't they?
Yeah, Sunline did a terrific job, courageous in defeat. Northerly was too good, but Sunline kicked and she was hanging in there right up to the 100-metre mark, and then it just took its toll.
Greg, do you feel that even as a jockey now you think, well, she might have come to the end of the line, but gee, you're going to miss her, aren't you?
Oh, going to miss her big time. She'll live in my memory forever, and I'm sure for a lot of other people, she was a great horse. She is a great horse. Let's hope she can leave some offspring.
Hope so, Greg. Well done.
I appreciate the crowd around us. Support and applause they gave her on the way back was much appreciated.
Most of it was for you, Greg, and her. Congratulations.
He's been in a unique position, Greg Charles, because he's ridden Northerly 6 times for 6 wins and has had 22 wins on Sunline. Speaking of Northerly, Fred Kersley and Patrick Payne have joined us. Trainer and jockey, congratulations to both of you. What a day. You going to let go of that plate at any stage, Fred?
Not really. I started off with the little one this morning and look what I've got now.
You can dream, can't you, and things happen. And it was courageous. You took the running from Damien Oliver a bit, Fred, by putting Patrick on. You made the front running there. How difficult was that call at the time?
It was difficult, I must say, but Patrick has been very unlucky all along the way. You know, he could have easily been on Northerly right through both campaigns, and, you know, I thought it was only fair, and I'm very happy with the decision, and Ollie was unlucky, Paddy was lucky.
Patrick, I was fascinated with your article in The Age yesterday, and you're talking about the pressure that had been put on you, and you said, I'd agree that Northerly takes an aggressive ride, but there is more than one way to get the same result. Well, today was a bit of half and half. You had to be aggressive, didn't you? Because Sunline went for home really at about the 1200.
She did, and it was always in my plan to make sure that she didn't get too far away, but I didn't want to make it for the back markers either, so my plan was to have her in my sights but not take her on too soon.
Did for both of you the race unfold as you expected?
For me, it was actually a lot easier. Like, I'd seen how Damien rode this horse last year, and he had to really work at him from a long way from home, and I rode him in track work Monday before the Caulfield Cup, and I thought he was very lazy. I got a little bit more confident when I rode him Tuesday before the Cox Plate, and just worked on a few little techniques with him, and I just found that you don't have to be so tough on him. You can more encourage him and actually get him into going.
Were you aware immediately that Assertive Lad had gone back to last and you were probably going to be second here?
Well, I thought so. I thought Assertive Lad might come forward. It didn't worry me if he did or not, and but I was happier that he wasn't up with us.
It looked a slow tempo early, but when we get to about the 1200, it looks as if Sunline takes off a bit, and you're scrubbing a bit to stay in touch. So right now you're sitting third, Lonrose at well back. Fred, you sitting in the stands at this point?
Yeah, it was happening better than I expected. I really didn't know what to think of Assertive Lad. I thought he could have been a bit of a problem for us. I really just wanted Northerly to have Sunline in his sights, and that was happening right along the way. But when she opened up sort of a long way out and put the pressure on and the chase began, I was growing in confidence because, gee, that's really what Northerly likes.
And the chase is on now, Patrick.
Yeah, I was from the 1200 metres mark. Greg Charles put his foot down and started to increase the tempo, and once again, like I was happy to that she went so far from home, and the same plan applied. I was going to come out after, but not tackle her too soon.
So you're riding along here. How's he feeling to you?
He's flat, and he's not making it easy for me there, but was always going to keep going.
And the wind factor today, I mean, there's a lot of wind out there. Could you feel that out there?
Yeah, there was a lot of headwind, especially coming down the side, but it was I actually enjoyed it. Whatever makes it a tougher battle, it plays in this horse's favour.
We talk about horses staggering up the straight. What about for jockeys here? You're about to tackle Sunline. You must feel that a couple are coming at you.
Yeah, I knew I had Sunline covered here, and my worry was the horse was coming from behind, but I was still going strongly, and it would have had to take a great horse to be able to beat him from here onwards.
And what a great horse he is, Fred. I mean, you've done what just Tobin Bronze Rising Fast and Tranquil Star. Something Bart didn't think you could do, in all honesty, is come back from a Caulfield Cup and win.
Yeah, that's true. I guess not only Bart, a lot of people thought it was the wrong way to go. The confidence was a little bit dented, but I knew the horse and I wanted to do it. But incidentally, Bart came to me today and said he was disappointed with the article. He said he never really meant it that way, and yeah, we got along pretty good, and there was no offence taken.
I'm sure you would. One of the stories of this spring is you taking up the challenge. You took it up in the Caulfield Cup. You added another dimension to that race. There's a bigger challenge for you at Flemington on the first Tuesday of November. Are you prepared for it or not?
No, I'm not prepared at the moment. It's sort of no comment at this stage. It'll take at least a couple of sleeps to work that one out, and, you know, the owners need to discuss it. I could say to you that I'm reluctant at this stage to embrace the Melbourne Cup, but who knows?
Pat, can I be a little cheeky here? How did the horse feel to you from a Melbourne Cup point of view today?
Well, funny enough, for the last couple of years, I've always thought he was an ideal Melbourne Cup horse, but leave it all to Fred, and he's got to take weight into consideration, all that sort of thing, so I'm sitting on the fence for the time being.
Fred, if he doesn't run in the Melbourne Cup, is this his last run this spring?
More than likely. He's had, what, 7 runs, I think, now, this prep. What you got to be careful of, he gives his all, and you don't want to go to the well too often. I mean, look, I'd love to fly the flag for Australia in the Melbourne Cup, but I don't want to break the flagpole.
What a day. What a day. A legend confirmed today. Congratulations to both of you. Patrick, I doubt whether you've had a bigger day in your racing life, coming from a great racing family. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
What a job. And for Fred, brilliant training performance. Wonderful horse. Well done. Congratulations. He is a legend. I think Max Prezel was going to declare him a champion. He would if he won the Melbourne Cup, that is for certain. Northerly, we salute you.